You're listening to No Limits Radio Show on the Vets on Media Network.
Good morning. Happy Saturday. Thanks for listening to No Limits Radio. We're part of the Vets on Media Show. Mission on this show is to have conversations without boundaries instead of avoiding taboo topics. We may not agree with you. We may not agree with each other. But we want to have those conversations and encourage you to join us by calling into the show if you disagree with us. You'll be heard. No guarantees that Michelle won't bite your head off.
Not respected or really listened to, but you'll be heard.
You'll be heard.
Yeah, that's all I can promise.
That's it. That's all we can guarantee you. You will be heard.
That's right. So happy Saturday to you, Christina. What's new in your world? Anything good?
Tonight I am going to a 70s party, and I am so excited about it. It's Raven's birthday bash, so it's going to be at the venue of Scottsdale, and I'm really excited. I got my 70s garb. Rob has his 70s
Are you
garb.
going as like a disco chick?
No, I'm just going as like
Three's Company?
Yeah, I would say it's more Three's Company. Yeah, I'm going to part my hair down the middle, straighten it with a flat iron. Not an iron. My mom was totally schooling me on how they did this. They actually would use an iron to fry their hair, essentially, and flatten it. Yes, to make it completely straight. But as I got the outfit, which I got it from Buffalo Exchange. Thank you, Buffalo Exchange. Love the clothes there. But as I got it, I was like, you know what? I would wear this any day of the week. Like, not just for the 70s party. I would wear this any day of the week. Now, Rob's outfit, on the other hand, I hope he would not wear it any day of the week because he is wearing orange pants. Just saying. They are orange.
Are they like burnt orange or are they orange?
They're more of a burnt orange.
Burnt orange.
But for a man to be wearing pants that are any shade of orange,
it's just bad.
I don't know. I mean, what do you think about it? Is that judgy of me?
Someone should be able to wear what they want. Just let him wear them. If he wants to wear them out, like you want to wear your shirt from this point on, you want to wear it on Thursdays, the third Thursday of every month, you're going to wear your disco shirt. I think he should be able to wear his orange pants.
I just went and picked the ugliest outfit I could possibly find. It seemed to work.
There you go.
The ugly... It's a great looking outfit. Okay, what does that say about my judgment? I thought it was a great outfit. Like, when he walked out of the dressing room, I was like, oh, I got to take my outfit up a step because you have to, like, when you go out as a couple to a themed party, you guys have to look like you go together.
Right. That's true.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless you plan on ditching the person you're going with, because then you shouldn't look anything like that.
That's true.
You know.
That's true.
I'm not saying that was I'm just saying, some people might have to go somewhere with someone and they might not want to spend the whole evening. And if that's the case, you should not match them at all.
Have you ever done that?
I don't know. I'm too old. I don't remember shit right now, because I'm still in this like fog. So I don't even remember what I had for dinner last night or if I had dinner.
So last week we talked about you and your journey in quitting smoking. And I have to tell you, Michelle, every day you have posted on Facebook. Well, I don't have to tell you that. I mean, every day you've posted on Facebook about what you're doing.
Well, no, I am foggy. So have I posted every day?
Michelle,
Hey.
did you know that every day you've posted about...
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, you have.
Okay, thanks.
And every day when I wake up, because you're up much earlier than me, like the crack of dawn early.
Well, way earlier than the crack of dawn, but yeah.
Yeah. So when I get up, it's many hours later, and I get my coffee, and I go to Facebook because that's the first place that I go to in the morning.
Right. Read your favorite book.
Yep, read my favorite book. And I get caught up on Michelle's journey to quitting smoking.
Yeah. And
every time I go there, there's this little okay, how's she doing? Is she good? Is she good? Is today, I hope today's not the day that she's like, fuck it! I smoked.
Well, I'll tell you. It's definitely, I joined a website also called quitnet.com, and I have a quit buddy. So George, if you're listening, hi George, how are you? And poor George on Friday was like, I had texted him I'd emailed him Thursday night, and I'm like, are you awake? Because I know he's in Washington, D.C., so it's like 3 hours ahead, because I'm like on nervous breakdown mode. So Friday, when I go onto QNet, he has sent me like 3 messages. Are you okay? Have you smoked? What's wrong? And I'm like, oh, I'm fine. I just had a bad night, and blah, 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 blah. But on QuitNet, you pledge each day not to smoke. So I go on multiple little clubs that are on that site, and I pledge not to smoke that day. And then I also pledge with my Quit Buddy that I will not smoke today.
Okay.
So, but the one thing that I learned in there that I picked up is it is a decision to smoke. So it's kind of a neat little thing that when you think you want one, it's not, oh, if I just have this one, it's a mistake, it's a slip. No, you're choosing to consciously go out and either buy that pack or bum that cigarette or whatever it is.
Right.
And you're consciously making the decision to go against what you've pledged to do today.
Right.
So it's not that I have not wanted one or have had the desire to have one. A lot of it is so much patterns, so many triggers, so much. I think my worst day was Wednesday because I was cleaning. And as a smoker, everything you do revolves around your cigarette. So when I clean normally, I'm going to dust this room. Oh, I'm done dusting. I'm going to have a cigarette.
So now my reward is I'm going to have a cigarette.
Exactly.
Right.
So, I'm going to sweep the floors. I'm done. Now I have to have a cigarette. Oh, now what do? I'm not having that cigarette. So it's like, what do I do? It was very frustrating for me to clean because I'm like, I'm doing all this shit and I don't get anything. I don't get my cigarette.
Okay, so do we need to send someone to clean your house for
I
you?
have a Twizzler instead.
Okay, so you did replace it with a reward.
So it's going. Yeah,
See,
it's going.
I would just not clean the house. I'd be like, too much drama related
Too
there.
much. Can't do it anymore.
But you know what I really like is that you shared about the emotions.
Yes.
And dealing with your emotions.
Yeah.
And as a person who is recovered myself, when you shared that, I mean, it took me right back to day one. That was 7 years ago. I'd completely forgotten about the fact that, you know what? I was using something to not have to deal with emotions,
Right.
which made me think, addiction is addiction is addiction.
It is.
And so I think people, even if they're not looking to quit smoking, I think they benefit from hearing about your journey.
Well, and I think that post that you're referring to, that day that I did post it, I did post that for people who have never had an addiction to try to understand what it is like. So I had posted, okay, imagine that you have this phobia of someone touching you, strangers touching you, being too close to you, your little personal space. And now I'm going to throw you in a 6x6 room with a dozen people on E. Okay?
Right.
Who want to touch and feel you everywhere.
Right.
That's kind of how your emotional sensories are just overloaded. Everything's like, oh my God, it's too much. It's like, oh my God, this person won't shut up. This person will shut up. This dog won't do that. Everything is just like coming at you like 50 million ways. And the only way as an addict to cope with that is to whatever your addiction is. Whether it is a cigarette, whether it is alcohol, whether it is a drug.
Right.
That's what you do. So you don't have to figure out how to deal with this dog that won't shut up or whatever it is. You just step away and go do your thing. So it's really different to actually, oh my God, what am I going to do about the dog?
Right.
'Cause I can't smoke.
And now I have to deal with these emotions.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's different.
Every post that you have shared with everyone, as I've read it, I mean, many of them have kind of, because you're being so vulnerable and because you're sharing authentically, they're very touching.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
so, yeah, it's
Thanks.
great. And I think it's very brave of you. And you, by sharing this, you've actually created a ripple effect.
I do. I have. And I'm so, and obviously this person has made the decision on their own because as any addiction, you're never going to convince that person that they need to quit.
Right.
Whatever it is. However, I would like to think that my awareness of and my explanation of, hey, this isn't so bad, or this is what you're expecting, or hey, read this book because I think it's wonderful,
Right.
had some type of a push effect. I think this person has wanted to quit,
Sure.
but didn't know if they could.
Sure.
And by opening them up to that avenue of the book I read, they loved the book. They quit the next day. They're actually getting the book for a family member. So
That's
it's
amazing.
awesome. So that part is great.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
Good job.
thanks. Oh, hold on. Someone's passing us a note. It's like in the Batcave or something. It's like a secret message.
This just in, breaking
This
news.
Breaking news. We have breaking news.
It's hot outside.
flipping hot outside.
Triple-digit temps.
Yeah, give us some real news.
Actually, you've got some real news for us. So
Yeah.
this is where we go into the WWW, where Michelle shares with us the wild, the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful news that she has found while scouring the net. What have you got for us? Where do you want to start?
Well, what should we start with? Would you like to start with like a good feel good or a wow, is this parent stupid? Which one would you like to do?
Let's go with the what were they thinking?
What were they thinking? Okay, let's start with what were you thinking. So this just happened, what day was it? Yesterday? 2 days ago? Georgia dad accused of leaving child in car and charged with murder. In Cobb County, Georgia, a father is charged with murder after allegedly leaving his 22-month-old son. Now keep in mind, this is almost a 2-year-old.
Right.
Okay? Justin Ross Harris, 34, was supposed to drop the toddler off at daycare, according to the station. Police said he forgot and instead drove to work around 9 a.m. Wednesday morning. He left the child in the car. Harris only noticed the boy after leaving work 8 hours later and looking in the back seat. He saw the child was strapped in his car seat, unresponsive. Temperatures in Atlanta topped 90 degrees Wednesday afternoon. So, okay, I can maybe kind of, when you have an infant and maybe they're sleeping, I can maybe kind of understand how you might briefly forget they're there if you've had a crazy moment or if you just quit smoking and you don't remember anything. I can kind of understand it, but this kid was like 2. So I'm thinking isn't the kid talking?
Sure.
You know, something, singing at this point? I mean, they're 2.
Sure.
So I don't know. And
what was the dad? You know, when I saw that story, my first thought is, what kind of work does this person do? Like, I'm trying to get in their head. I'm trying to understand crazy. I'm trying to understand like what they were thinking. Is this person in a high pressure job where they were so stressed out and that was the mindset, or are they completely just disconnected and checked out from their kids?
I don't know. I mean, how do you forget a kid?
I don't know. I mean, we just had a case here in Arizona. Matt?
No, well, I was just going to throw my 2 cents in
Oh,
whenever
go for
you're
it.
done. But,
You
okay.
can throw in 1 cent.
Okay, I will throw in 1 cent.
Good.
I will attempt to give this guy the benefit of the doubt because I don't know how many. That said, I didn't read the full story, so there may have been stuff that was mentioned that I'm not privy to.
Mm-hmm.
However, I will go out on a limb. I think you have a point with the kid being 2 years old. Why didn't the kid say anything, assuming that he
was
didn't?
awake. But
Right. But I'm going to say, maybe, hypothetical scenario here, this dad does not ordinarily take his son to daycare. It's not part of his daily routine. Normally, right, he just gets up, gets ready to work, and leaves. But for whatever reason, assuming he's still married or whatever, normally his wife or girlfriend would take the kid to daycare, but he didn't on that day. So it wasn't part of his routine. Maybe the kid normally takes a nap on his way to said daycare if it's early enough in the morning, so the kid's passed out in the back seat, not making any noise.
But it was 9 a.m.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know the full details.
There aren't a lot of
but
details. Like there really isn't much
Yeah.
into it as far as like what charges he's being brought up against. That's really
Right.
all there really is.
Well, I think those are some interesting points of view to share. We recently in Arizona had a dad that was convicted and got 4 years in the death of leaving his son in his car. He was a manager for Scottsdale Bar, left his I think it was a 4-month-old.
I think you're right.
Yeah, 3 or 4 month old. Left his it was 3 months old. Anyway, left his infant in the car, went into the Scottsdale Bar that he was a manager of, and was smoking pot while in the bar, and has been convicted of 4 years. My first thought when I saw that story is, why only 4 years? And we're hearing more and more of these stories where parents are doing this. Is this because we're so disconnected? Is this because we're, our cell phones and all the things that are distracting us in our world? And one of the comments, a person said, well, car manufacturers should put something in the vehicle, some sensor, so that when you get out of the vehicle, and they sense something in the back seat. And I just thought, okay, here's a low tech. Here's a low tech version of that. When you put your child in the back seat, in their car seat, put your purse with them. Put your phone, because you shouldn't have your phone in your hand anyway.
Right.
So put something with the child that you are going to get out of the vehicle. I mean, as I've read both of these stories, I used to, when my children were infants, I drove them to daycare. And the whole way we're singing songs on the way to daycare, we're talking. So I don't get it. And I'm glad that they got prison time. When we hear of kids that drowned in the pool in the backyard, you don't always get prison time for that. I think that the parents should be responsible, and I think there should be prison time. All right, next.
Yeah, next. All right. So, well, anyway, I think it's absolutely crazy. I don't know how you could forget a kid for 8 hours. But anyway, next. Let's talk about a good story. This also was in Georgia, and it also has to do with a baby. But this is in Madison County, and Bryant Collins actually was... It was really kind of weird. He's just on the side of the road. It doesn't really say what he was doing out there.
He's driving.
He's
He's
it doesn't
driving
really.
on the freeway.
And he sees out of the corner of his eye something, and he stops, and it is a 15-month-old baby crawling from the woods
Right.
out to the highway.
Can you imagine you're driving down the freeway? Imagine driving down the freeway, and there's a baby.
This little redheaded,
crawling.
did you see? She's
Oh,
got
the
like this
baby's
red
adorable.
curly hair.
And for those of you that want to check out the video, and you should check out the video, we shared it on the No Limits Radio Show page, so you can go there on Facebook and you can check out the video. But what was really interesting to see in that story is that the gentleman that found the baby was, he was a convicted felon
He's
that
a
had
felon.
put his life back together. And to settle the baby down, he played gospel music from his phone and said, "It calms me. I thought it would calm her too." It was just a very touching, feel-good story, and it was one that I'm glad that they shared, that this individual had a past, put his life back together, and is doing good. So I thought it was a wonderful story.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about a WTF. What the fudge? I can say fuck. I just chose to say fudge. Anyway, this story I found this morning, and I don't know if I should laugh or say, oh my God, our society is totally screwed up. A woman who killed a teenager in a automobile accident is suing the dead boy and his parents. So I know that this is it's not funny, because there was a kid that was killed, and I can't imagine if I am someone who accidentally killed a child, what I would deal with. However, this woman is 42 years old, Charlene Simon. She actually has 3 children of her own. She accidentally killed 17-year-old Brandon Majoski when he was riding bicycles with 2 of his friends. And she is suing him and the family for $1.35 million because of the cause of a lot of emotional turmoil.
So the victim was riding his bike at 1:30 in the morning.
The victim is dead.
Right. Right. But the victim was riding his bike at 1:30 in the morning. Shouldn't have been out at that time.
It was rainy. It was a rainy evening.
Yep. Shouldn't have been out. But is there a law against that? I kind of feel like if this woman is awarded, where are we going from here?
Right.
The victim that is raped is at fault because they were there. I mean, where do we...
that already does come into play when there are rape cases and it's, they were dressed like this or they were talking like this. So that already, unfortunately, comes into play a little bit. But yeah, this is one step further.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. So
this is one to watch, and the article didn't say if is the woman in prison? Did she was it just an accident, or is she serving time for killing someone?
It does not say.
Right. So this is one that I'm really curious to watch, and we'll be interested to see. I hope it just gets thrown out. I hope that
she was saying that, she admitted to going 10 miles over an hour, or 10 miles an hour over speed limit. The boy's father does admit that the boys were wearing dark clothing on a rainy night, that they did not have helmets, but he is claiming that the accident was her fault. and that she had to either be speeding, drunk, or texting. None of those claims have been proven yet, though.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of details on it, but wow, that's crazy to me.
It is.
Absolutely crazy. So I know we don't have a whole lot of time because we're going to have to take a break, but let's real quickly talk about two things.
Okay.
And we'll have some other options or some other stories on the No Limits page and maybe we'll talk about them later.
Yep.
But a couple things. EBT.
Thank you. Okay.
This is another WTF with our government. So
Yes. Okay.
Yes. So EBT.
So I'm driving down Valley Street and I see out in front of Jack in the Box, big, huge sign.
Mhm.
We accept EBT. I said, what?
Mhm.
You've got to be kidding me. Yes. You can now use your food stamp card to purchase fast food,
Mhm. which
that doesn't make sense to me, especially when you look at, if you go to the azdes.gov website that has all of the rules and regulations, one of the things, it cannot be food that is hot and already prepared in the store.
Right. It can't already be prepared. But now here's my question. So
Okay.
before you continue, because you might have read more into this.
Imagine that.
Yeah, because I get the little like this. She goes in depth. Of course, she doesn't have her notes after she goes in depth, but she goes way in depth. Anyway, with EBT, okay, or with government assistance, okay, with your card, at least in Arizona, when you have your EBT card, there is two portions to that. And not everybody gets both, but there are certain people who have a certain amount for food, and then they also have an amount for other things. So when someone is going to Jack in the Box and buying it, is this money coming off of their food stamps or their additional spending for other things?
It must be from other things. That's got to be it. That's the only thing that makes sense.
But I don't know, because it's raising a huge, people are upset about this. So
Sure.
It might be the food stamp portion. That's what I didn't know if you knew.
But see, here's the thing. Are people really upset about that? Or are people upset about the fact that what this was intended for, food stamps, what it was intended for, and how it's being used, the length of time that people are staying on assistance,
Right.
the fact that there's not a system in place to truly get them off of that. And we've talked before about drug testing people that are on food stamps. And what happens if you do drug test them? Then what do? Do you stop providing them funds? What about the kids that are in the house and the
Right.
dependents in the house? It's not their fault that mom and dad are, using drugs.
so are you implying that everyone on food stamps is using drugs?
I'm not saying that everyone is. I'm just saying that I would imagine that there is a percentage that are.
Oh, I'm sure there's a percentage. I think a larger percentage are just lazy.
Okay, well, we don't have a test for lazy, but we do
Sure
have a
we
test
do.
for drugs.
Walk in at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and if they're laying on the damn couch, they're effing lazy. That's the test. It's 1 o'clock. What are you doing laying on the couch? Every day. We stop by here every day at 1 o'clock, and you're laying on the couch. Oh, we stop by at 10 a.m., you're laying on the couch. At 6 p.m., you're laying on the couch. They're lazy.
Okay, so
Okay.
whether it's lazy
Yeah.
or drugs,
Right.
what do you do? Okay, you've identified. Yep, you're on drugs. Yep, you're lazy. Now, what are we doing? We're going to pull your money from you? What about the kids?
Do you yank their kids?
No. Here's what I think you do. Whether it's lazy or whether it's drugs, if it's drugs, they have a mandated drug program. Because if you're on drugs, the likelihood of you getting your life back together, getting a job, getting off of food stamps, good luck with that. It's not going to happen. So they have to go into a program where they get off of drugs. And apparently Michelle has found a quit program that actually
That's right.
works.
Yeah, contact Alan Carr. But anyway, but on the flip side of this, what if instead of having this money, this EBT money, I think that food stamps should be very similar to the WIC program.
Okay.
So do you know about WIC? So WIC is another program that the state offers. And it basically, I think it's for ages of you have certain kids under certain ages, but it's very specific as to what you can get. So you get like a coupon, and that coupon, I used to work at a grocery store, that's why I know all this. But anyway, that coupon will tell you what you can get. So it'll say like 1 gallon of milk, 2% or 1% up to this value, or cheese at this cereal. It has to be like a no sugar type cereal.
Okay.
Because
They
then at
did-
least
they had that.
the money is going towards nutrition.
Okay, but they had that before the EBT card, before the thing that looks like a credit card.
Yeah.
They had actual food stamps, so they had.
Right, but you
pieces
still
of
could use them
paper.
for whatever. What I'm
True.
saying is, instead of just saying, here's $300, whether it's a Monopoly money or a card, whatever it is, regardless, they should have, this is what you can buy. You shouldn't be able to buy Twinkies. I'm sorry.
You shouldn't.
You know, I mean, if the government is helping you to sustain so that you can stay healthy, so you can provide things for your kids, then it should be healthy stuff. I'm sorry.
I
That's
agree.
what I think.
Okay.
Fine. Screw EBT cards. And Jack in the Box, I will no longer eat there.
Well, you shouldn't eat a Jack in the Box anyway.
Well,
They're not
hey,
a sponsor, are they?
my next 2 weeks, I'm eating anything and everything. We'll talk about weight gain next week.
Okay.
Okay, we'll talk about that next week.
All right.
So
We need to go to a break.
we have to break. After our guests, though, we got to talk about gays. Lots of good things happening for gays this week. Seriously. Matt, why are you laughing?
That was so not
It's just the
music.
presentation.
Oh, the president. We
gotta
gotta
talk
talk about gays. We have to talk about gays. I'm really happy for the gay people out there. I just am. I'm saying. Okay, that's it.
Okay, when we get back, if you are getting ready to purchase a car or know of someone that is, you want to stay tuned because we have Frank from Consolidated Auto Sales, and he's in studio. He's actually sitting in studio right now, waiting to come on the air to share all of his knowledge and insight. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just 2 minutes.
Breaker, 19. How about that bandage? You got some ears on, son?
Have you ever wanted to be a truck driver? If so, pay attention. If not, pay attention anyway. Southwest Truck Driver Training offers everything you need to get started. You can get hired before you begin training. They've got GI Bill approved training facilities, day, night, or weekend programs to fit your busy schedule. And if you have any questions, no sweat. They've got veteran supportive campuses with veterans on staff to serve you. And on top of that, they have lifetime job placement assistance. Put the pedal to the metal. Call Southwest Truck Driver Training today.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in their life. I'm no different. Hey everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures and how stressful they can be. Let Tom Capstrom Law Firm and his dedicated staff take the stress and worry out of a difficult situation by calling him today. We feel so strong about the work that Tom and his staff are doing that he'll be a monthly guest on the show. Tom is a veteran and a listener, for God's sake, so you know the guy is solid and will fight for you. Give Tom a call today by calling 417-864-0552 or email Tom at capstromlaw.com. And don't forget to tell him that Vets On sent you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Are you or someone you know suffering from eczema, diabetes, or vitamin deficiencies? Then I can share with you something to help remedy that with health and wellness. It can be a business plan too, which is a great opportunity to meet and interact with all types of people who care about changing lives. So when you are ready to make a difference, call Jamie at 602-295-9969. That's 602-295-9969.
Hey everyone, it's Adam from Vets On. Are you or someone you know looking for employment? Then look no further than iVetX. iVetX is placing veterans with the right hiring companies. Join their mission in putting veterans in inspiring careers with ensured success. Access their national pipeline of military talent for companies. All veterans are pre-screened for 55 soft skill sets, 800 clarification types, education, experience, salary range, and so much more. iVetX can help you find the perfect job to veteran match. Your skills are based on what's needed for success in that job. If you're a hiring company or a veteran looking for your next career, then get started today and go to www.ivetx.com. iVetX, bridging the employer-veteran gap by putting Americans' veterans to work today.
Welcome back to No Limits Radio. I'm Christina.
And I'm Michelle.
And in studio, we have Frank with Consolidated Auto Sales. Frank, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I enjoy coming in and letting people know how I feel about certain things.
Good. I'm glad to have you. And not only are you the owner of Consolidated Auto Sales, but you're also the chairman for the Arizona Independent Auto Dealers Association.
Yes, and I was the president and got moved up, which is kind of fun. I've been involved with that organization for probably 30 years, and it's an organization that helps keep car dealers on the up and up. We've got a code of ethics we honor as far as advertising, warranties, etc. If you're buying a car, look to see if you're buying a car from a used car dealer, try to make sure that he is involved with this organization, because that will give you a better leg up if something does happen.
That's great to know. And I gather that since your dealership is the oldest used car dealership in Arizona?
In the Phoenix area.
In the Phoenix area.
There is another dealership in Tucson that has been around a little bit longer.
Okay. Well, and you're also a member of the Darn Good Deals website.
Yes.
So thank you. I appreciate that you're a part of this again as we're doing the relaunch of the site. And your deal is truly, it's a darn good deal. I mean, it's amazing.
Well, what we do when we sell a car is the Arizona law says that you have an implied warranty on that car that for 15 days or 500 miles it will run and drive and perform like a car should. If you buy something from a car dealer that doesn't do this, you can take it back and say either fix it or give me my money back.
Right.
But we believe that what we're selling is a little bit better, so we do 30 days, 1,000 miles, which is a little bit better, and we hope our customer will be satisfied with that. We also, if they mention the Darn Good Deal when they come in, they get a $500 reduction in price.
And that is incredible. So what I love about what we're doing now with Darn Good Deals is the businesses that are part of this are offering exclusive deals that they're not offering to consumers anywhere else. So only on the Darn Good Deals, if you mention the Darn Good Deals website, then you're going to get $500 off of your auto purchase. And the only place that you can hear about these Darn Good Deals is right here on the No Limits radio show, which is part of Vets on Media.
And the other one I'm going to throw in right now that I hadn't thought about would be a
spur of the moment kindness.
yes, a tank of gas.
Awesome. So $500 off. You'll have the ability to return the car if there's any issues after 30 days, which you're not legally bound to do.
Up to 30 days.
Up to 30 days.
Yeah.
And $500 off, full tank of gas. Woohoo.
Which, if they're buying a Suburban or something, that's
like $90.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
That's a darn good deal. That's a big darn good deal.
That's like a darn good deal plus.
Yeah.
That's a bonus darn good deal.
So and every now and then we have a car come back with that kind of a thing, and we fix it. So customers shouldn't have a problem with it.
So we're here and we're talking with Frank from Consolidated Auto, and we've been learning about his darn good deal, which really is an amazing darn good deal. Frank, since your car dealership, your used car dealership, is the oldest car dealership here in Phoenix, I'm sure that there's a lot of things that you've seen over the years and a lot of insight and knowledge that you have to protect consumers.
Yes.
What would you say is one of the things that people really need to know about?
One of the things that really people need to know about, I know there's a lot of people who are concerned with saving money, with getting the best possible deal they can get, particularly on a car, and you should be very careful about who you're buying the car from and where you're buying the car at. Let's just say you're on Craigslist, you see a phone number, you see a car you like, you call the person up and say, hey, do you still have your car? I'd like to look at it. And if this person says, which car are you looking at? That is a big red flag to be very careful, because think about it. How many people do you know that would try to sell more than one car at a time?
Right.
If this is true, you're probably dealing with what we call a curb stoner. This is a unlicensed dealer. This is someone who is buying cars and selling them. The other way you can tell is if you do get to the point of buying it and you look at the title and the front of the title says Jane Doe and the person you're buying it from is John Smith, that means that this person bought the car from, not all the time, it could be a relative, but it means that this person bought this car from somebody and is now going to sell it to you and put it in your name. But what could have happened between the time that he bought it from person A and sells it to you? Could there have been a ticket? Could there have been a lien taken out on it?
So how would you know if there? I guess you would have no way of knowing if there was a lien on the vehicle.
What you would want to do is get the ID. If you're really serious about buying this car, get the ID number from the seller, take it down to one of your third-party title services,
Okay.
and they can look it up for you.
Okay.
And it's a very easy process to do, and that assures you that you're not going to have a problem, because there is what's called a restitution lien, and this is something where maybe a person had a ticket, maybe they had an accident and they owe money to someone, so there's a lien on the car until they pay it off.
And is that a free service that they'll do, or do you have to pay for that?
You might have to pay for it, but I don't think it would. And there might even be something at Motor Vehicle Online that would have that, but I don't know for sure.
But if people come to Consolidated Auto, they don't have to worry about that.
No,
because
not at all.
you've taken care of that.
Yes, and every now and then we have a customer come in who for whatever reason has an abandoned vehicle fee, and this is where you had, let's just say your car died on the side of the road and you just left it there.
Okay.
And then it goes through a process, and then they charge you $500 for that privilege, and then you have to pay it back, and you can't register a car in your name until that's fixed.
Oh, that's fun.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had to turn someone down last week, or tell them, yes, you can buy the car, but fix this first.
Wow.
Because if they try to fix it beforehand, or if we sell them the car beforehand, it just turns into a nightmare.
Sure. So other than knowing if there's a clean title, are there other risks involved with a consumer by going through either finding a car on the web, or through Craigslist, or maybe you see cars that are parked in corner lots all the time that are for sale? Are there any other risks involved with that?
Well, the main risk is that car a good, sound, serviceable car?
Right.
I know there are people who buy the car and make it look pretty.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say? Kind of like putting lipstick on a pig.
Right.
But
sorry, is that the first time you've heard that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It is.
But it's, there are certain things that can be covered up mechanically that you might not notice for a few days, and then once you do notice it, the person who you sold it to you won't take your phone calls, and you're just stuck with this vehicle. Okay. If you're buying from a licensed dealer, then you have the power of the state behind you to get this thing fixed if there is a problem.
Because legally, they have to take the car back within 15 days.
Yeah, if they have to take it back or repair it. And occasionally, I've got a car where it was something, let's say the motor blew up in it,
mm-hmm.
and looking at the car, looking at the value of the car, the condition, it's not worth putting that motor in. So we either give them their money back or find something else that they like.
Well, and at your dealership at Consolidated Auto, you give them 30 days. You give them
Right.
up to 30 days. So,
Right.
I mean, legally, you only have to give them 15 days,
Right.
but you give them an extra 15 days.
Right.
What are some of the things that you've seen over the years? I noticed that you said that cars are driving for longer.
Cars, I'm being amazed now because I'm seeing cars with 150, 200,000, 250,000 miles that have been cared for, that look and run well. I know people, one of my daughters has a car that's about 10 years old and has 180,000 miles on it, and she's still driving it. It used to be I didn't want to have a car much over 100,000, but that everything is just made better today.
Right. Now, with the cars that are at your dealership, do you have a mechanic that looks over it? What's kind of your process of determining if you're going to put the car on your lot?
Our process is once we try to screen as much as while we're buying, but you miss stuff. So our mechanics go through it, check the transmission, check the air conditioning, go through all the brakes, et cetera, to make sure it is a good running car. And we either repair it, and then every now and then we get a car that we have bought and we made a mistake, and then we get rid of it, not to a retail buyer.
Did you have a question, Matt? What are some of the types of cars that you have on your lot right now?
They go from Audi to Volkswagen.
Okay.
Just about anything. I'm driving one right now. It's an 05 Volkswagen Beetle.
Oh, really?
6-speed transmission, standard. It's black. It's a very nice car. I've been driving it for a few days, and one of the reasons I drive them, I'll take one for a couple of days, is to make sure that my guys in the mechanic shop are doing their job.
So you're checking up on them.
Yeah.
That's great.
And
what's the price range? If I'm in the price range of what would your dealership be at?
Generally, our cars start at about $6,000 and go up to about $12,000.
Okay. Now, what about financing?
Financing, we do the financing ourselves. So I know a lot of times, if you're buying at a new car dealer particularly, they want you to drive that car out of there today.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're going through the credit process, if you're trying to get the loan arranged, they will say, okay, we think we've got you approved.
Mm-hmm.
You sign the papers, you drive out.
Mm-hmm.
And then there will be some times where they have overestimated, and where none of the finance companies they work with will buy this contract at the interest rate or at the price, etc.
Right.
So they call you back and say you have to come in and we need to talk. And at that point, they'll want to either get more of a down payment, get a different interest rate, get a higher payment, something of that. And it means that the original contract they could not honor.
Okay.
And in contract law, if you cannot honor a contract, if one of the parties can't, that voids the contract.
So you really don't have to go back and renegotiate. You may have to take the vehicle back.
You will have to take the vehicle back. You don't have to renegotiate. Unless you really have fallen in love with this car. But they don't have to. And if you had traded a car in, Arizona law says that dealer that took your car in trade cannot sell it until everything is done and cleared on the deal for the car that you bought.
That's interesting.
So is that something that people should be aware of? Because we all know that especially if you're a female, we'll talk about females, sometimes when we get something, then we fall in love with it really, really quick. Like, for example, when we go shopping and we see some 70s shirt that we're really buying for just one thing, but then we get it at home and we're like in love with it. So now we really, really love it. So is that something that people should be aware of, meaning that a dealership will make a deal, because at that point they've seen the credit, they've seen the income. Do you have to worry, especially in the female's perspective, because we already have that stigma that car dealers and repair people like to, put it to us. Are they going to give us a contract? The chances are they're not going to be able to meet, and then give us a couple days to fall in love with it, and then we're going to have to come back on a higher interest, more monthly, more money down, and because we fell in love with the VW.
That is very possible. And it's something they do, because they look at it and they've got from here to here. Yeah. They've got high-end good places, and then they've got the low-end places. But it will, if you re-sign, it will cost you more money.
Right.
And obviously you don't want to do that. And that the other thing is, at the new car dealer, they're a little bit more pressure oriented than we are. We don't believe in doing high pressure. It just doesn't work. Because let's just say, looking again at the woman's side, if you're pressured into buying something, could you not fall out of love very quickly if something happened?
Oh yeah, we can become a bitch real quick. No doubt about that. We can fall in love, but we can sever that tie real quick too. Yep.
So, and again, we just don't want that kind of a deal. But if you drive out with the car, it's a done deal. If you're buying from us, we don't have to worry about that part because we don't sell the contract to anybody.
So you finance the cars right there through through Consolidated Auto Sales. Now, your father started the business in 1942.
Yes.
When did you get involved in the business, and what was that?
I got involved in the business in the late 60s, starting out, doing some mechanic work, washing cars, that kind of stuff, when I was going in with my father on the weekends and doing that, trying to learn the very basic part of it, and grew up a little bit, started selling cars and buying cars and learning the business. And then when my father got older, I kind of took over running it from him.
So how old were you when you started selling cars?
About 20.
About 20? Okay.
Yeah. So I've been doing it for a while.
So you know a thing or two about
cars.
Yes,
I do. It's something I've done, and what I'd like to do is, again, there's a lot of people in the car business who are not that good, who don't quite have the, let's just say, the sense that we do.
Right.
So there are people that will try to sell a car. I've known dealers who say that you're buying a car as is.
Right.
And in Arizona, you cannot buy legally an as-is car from a dealer.
That?
It's just because there is this implied warranty on it. Now, I can sell you a car as is if on the front of the sales order I put motor problem or transmission problem, and that customer signs that they know about this, then I can sell it as is.
Okay.
If I am disclosing it.
So that's another thing that I'm sure most people are not aware of.
Yes, and there are people that do that, and no, it's not.
Sure.
It's not possible.
Because it's simply not legal.
Right. Exactly.
It's simply not. Yeah.
And it's something that if you're going to, like I say, I want to say there's probably 1,500 used car dealer licenses in Arizona, and these would range from people who have a body shop or a mechanic shop and sell one very rarely to the ones that will sell 100 cars, 150 cars a month.
You know, one of the reasons why when my mother and I launched Darn Good Deals, it was so important to us to focus on the locally owned businesses. And one of the reasons that we really wanted to focus on the locally owned businesses is that they live here, their dollars stay here, they have, they're community minded, they give back to the community. And you had shared with me a nonprofit that speaks to your heart, but I also saw on your website that you also have the word is completely left my brain. Scholarship program.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a hard word.
Yeah. And
boy, you used that in a sentence.
Where that came from is two of my three sisters spent their working career in teaching. My wife is a teacher, so I respect education, and I think education is a good thing.
Yeah.
So I give 2 scholarships away annually, and I actually gave 4 away this year.
That's cool.
Because looking at the candidates, I said, wow.
That's really incredible. I mean, and the thing is, when you go to the website, which I'm going to share it with everyone, it's consolidatedauto.com. When you go to the website, it's right there, big at the top, big and bold, you know, the scholarship program. And I just thought that's really cool for a car dealership to give back to education and community and supporting our youth. I thought that was really incredible, and good job.
And
Kudos to
another
you.
one, I belong to an organization called Local First Arizona.
Mhm.
Have been there. I was a charter member. And again, I like to see local things because the money stays here
Right.
as opposed to going somewhere else.
Right. Absolutely.
And that's where I get the idea that I don't like to go to Walmart or those
Absolutely.
kind of places.
Absolutely. No need to support the big box stores.
Right.
Yep. Now, the nonprofit that you became acquainted with, Black Theater Troupe, what is
Yes.
that?
That is a black actors, black material plays. They've been around for years. Just recently, they got a new theater space on East Washington, and it's a gorgeous space.
Nice.
Look them up. They do some great performances,
Excellent.
and a lot of them are musical type stuff.
Okay.
And we enjoy doing it.
Very nice. And you were a part of it?
I contribute to them every year.
Okay. Wonderful. Now, tell us a little something about you, something that people might be surprised to learn.
Now that's a good one. I sell cars for a living.
Put lipsticks on pigs.
That has to do with taking something and take something that's actually ugly, but doing a little bit of something to try and make it look better. What's interesting about I have 9 grandkids.
Wow.
5 kids, 9 grandkids, from 11 to 2, and
How long have you been married?
20 years.
20 years.
Actually,
Congratulations.
today is the anniversary.
And you're here on No Limits
Yeah.
on your anniversary?
Yeah.
Well, I know we also pulled you away from the car lot.
Yeah.
Did you not hear he's been married 20 years? The wife is like, thank God he's going to do No Limits today. I'm just kidding.
Well, congratulations and happy
Yes.
anniversary.
Thank you.
Tell
And
the missus we said congratulations.
yes, and she doesn't know I'm here, but that's okay.
That's all right.
Business,
Happy anniversary.
yeah,
Anniversary, sweetie.
yeah, business, and don't talk about it a lot, but I'll let her know.
But because in your line of work, I mean, you work a lot of hours.
Yes, born and raised
Yeah.
in Phoenix, grew up here.
Native.
Yes, and I go by places. I think I remember what used to be here.
Right.
Speaking of that, what is the steakhouse on
Monty's?
on Camelback Road? Beef Eaters.
Okay.
Beef Eaters they had been there as a restaurant for 40 years. They closed a year or two ago with the death of the owner, and now it's been redone. Changing Hands Bookstores is in there now, and there's a restaurant in there now, and we went by there, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah. It's amazing. I've lived here for 20 years or just a little over 20 years, and it's amazing how much things have changed.
Yes.
And how things have grown. When I moved out here, we lived at Val Vista and Southern, and there really wasn't a lot beyond there, and it's exploded. I mean, the valley is just yeah.
Yep. I believe there's 4 million people here now. So
All right, we are going to go. Is there anything else you want to share with our listeners?
I think we're done.
Where to find him?
Oh, yes.
ConsolidatedAuto.com, and you're located at?
We're on the corner of 16th Street and Van Buren, where we have northeast corner, where we have been for 72 years.
That's
Wow,
amazing.
that's amazing.
Yes, and I think there's a new Coulter Cadillac. I think has been around a little bit longer than we have, but that's a new car as opposed to used car.
Right. So 16th Street
And
Van Buren.
ConsolidatedAuto.com, 602-258-6071.
And you're on Facebook and Twitter.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And don't know a lot about them, but I know enough about them to be dangerous.
So does someone run the Facebook and Twitter for you?
Yeah, someone works it, and I
Okay.
try to do a little bit here and there.
Okay. Well, good.
But I'll put something on about this because it's kind of enjoyable.
Good. Well, we're going to share with you the link of your experience here today, so you'll be able to post that on your Facebook and Twitter page.
Thank you very much.
So thank you so much for joining us. When we come back, we have a very fun game that we'll be playing. And Frank, will you be joining us for that?
Yes,
or do you
I
need
will.
You will.
Oh, yes.
Awesome. All right. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. I'm Christina.
And I'm Michelle.
And our guest, Frank, with Consolidated Auto Sales.
Thank you.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in their life. I'm no different. Hey everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures and how stressful they can be. Let Tom Capstrom Law Firm and his dedicated staff take the stress and worry out of a difficult situation by calling him today. We feel so strong about the work that Tom and his staff are doing that he'll be a monthly guest on the show. Tom is a veteran and a listener, for God's sake, so you know the guy is solid and will fight for you. Give Tom a call today by calling 417-864-0552 or email Tom at capstromlaw.com. And don't forget to tell him that Vets On sent you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertising.
Would your goal be to get you and your family out of debt? I can show you how thousands of people and families are doing just that. This is a business plan made simple. We offer everything from weight loss products to green cleaning solutions. Whether you're interested in making it a full-time or part-time opportunity to become debt-free, or if you are just sick and tired of being sick and tired, call Jamie at 602-295-9969. That's 602-295-9969.
Breaker 19. How about that bandage? You got some ears on, son?
Have you ever wanted to be a truck driver? If so, pay attention. If not, pay attention anyway. Southwest Truck Driver Training offers everything you need to get started. You can get hired before you begin training. They've got GI Bill approved training facilities, day, night, or weekend programs to fit your busy schedule. And if you have any questions, no sweat. They've got veteran supportive campuses with veterans on staff to serve you. And on top of that, they have lifetime job placement assistance. Put the pedal to the metal. Call Southwest Truck Driver Training today.
Do you need an extra push to start your day? Well, then tune in to Addie's Radio. Addie's Radio is a show that explores tough questions in an open and fun forum. The program also engages hard-hitting issues concerning veterans' physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. This show airs every Tuesday from 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Vets On Media Network. Addie's Radio is hosted by Jesse James, a combat veteran of Afghanistan, so he knows the problems that veterans face every day. Jesse provides you guidance each and every week to be a better you. So tune into yourself each week by tuning into Addie's Radio. Go to vetsonmedia.com for show details.
Welcome back. You're listening to No Limits Radio.
And I'm Michelle. Christina's not quite ready, even though I'm eating the Twizzler. I'm a little more on it today.
We typically have different music that goes into it, so I was waiting for the you're listening to No Limits Radio Show. You know the music?
That's entirely my fault. I didn't know that was the thing that you guys did.
It's okay, Matt.
It's okay. You can blame the temp.
Hey,
I'll take
you know
blame
what?
for that.
We appreciate you being here and running the board for us so much. So thank you. Thank you so much, Matt. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. And I got to tell you, the video that you did, amazing.
For which video?
Veterans of PTSD.
Did you know
the documentary thing.
Us?
Yes, I'm the one that sent the link.
Okay,
it was
Sam. We were talking about it, and Sam shared it with us, and
it was
okay. So Sam sent the link. Sam's just beat me to everything today, but
yes, it was incredible.
Thank you. I am glad that you enjoyed it.
You did a wonderful job. I didn't realize that the topic was going to be serious, and then when I heard what the topic was, and because when you shared that we were going to do this video, you were just kind of asking us about our role at Vets On Media and what we do, and sometimes Michelle and I tend to be a little bit.
Sometimes.
Okay, we like to have fun with the things that we're doing.
Right.
So when I heard the topic, I was like, oh my gosh, did we give him anything he could use?
Right, because like the beginning of the video is kind of like Vets On Media takes on PTSD. And the first thing I thought is, what? Like, we were like laughing and talking about
we're
like
the Gap Girls.
Yeah,
we bridged
like,
the gap.
Yeah, like what do you guys bring to Vets On Media? We put deodorizer in the bathroom. I mean, I'm thinking like the stuff we said, and I'm like, how? I'm assuming at that point I'm like, he must not be using us at all.
We're not in it,
which is okay.
No, well, okay. See, because here's the thing. when we had originally set out to start the documentary, we had this kind of very general idea of what we were going for. But once we actually got into post and we were looking back at our interviews, we kind of decided, you know what, I think the serious direction is a better place to go, as opposed to making it more of this, basically this like 10-minute advertisement for Vets On. We figured it was better. It served a better purpose.
It was wonderful.
To kind of
you did a great
do
job.
a whole awareness thing.
It was
so.
phenomenal, and I think you need to get it out there.
Well, thank you. I'm looking to maybe do a couple modifications to it here and there. But no, all in all, I would like to at some point put it in
Good
a
job.
festival or
It's
something. So.
Speaking of good job, I really want to, before we go into the game, which we're about to do, and for those of you that are listening or watching, you can play along with us on the Facebook page. So if you want to blurt out the answer, I don't have a computer in front of me, so you're not going to help me cheat. I won't know it. I don't even know where my phone is right now. But before we get into the game, I want to thank Perry Collins and Scott Johnson from Stellar Graphics. When we did, okay, so the No Limits Radio Show logo, I love that logo. And as I was getting ready to create the new logo for Darn Good Deals, I thought, there's no way I could love another logo. Kind of like, you know when you have your first kid and you're about to have a second child? There's no way I'm going to be able to love a second child as much as I love my first child. But then you have a second child and you realize that you absolutely have the capacity to love. Well, I love the logo that Scott made for Darn Good Deals. I love it so much, and I've gotten so many great compliments from everyone. And I gotta say, it's Scott Johnson. I mean, all I did was I gave him an idea and shared with him a logo and said, I kind of like this. What can you do? And what he created, I'm absolutely in love with. So
yeah, Stellar Graphics is his website, so check him out.
Yes. All right.
Perfect.
So we got a game.
We do. Or is Matt doing his question
Yes,
first?
Matt. All right, two truths and a lie.
Oh, okay. So I'll just go ahead and throw. This game of two truths and a lie was brought to you by Sam.
Brought to you by Sam.
She's with us even when she isn't.
She's with us in spirit.
Sam's usually running the board for us.
Yeah. So, two truths and a lie about Maleficent.
Okay.
Big Disney flick.
Okay.
Oh man, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
I have.
But now we know.
What are you
So
guessing?
you may or may not do well in this. We'll find out. Bum, bum, bum.
Ooh.
All right. So, number one, Angelina Jolie picked Lana Del Rey herself to be the one to sing a version of Once Upon a Dream. 2, the budget for the movie was $180 million, and they have already made the money back. And 3, Angelina Jolie still owns a pair of horns and keeps them at home.
Okay, so we're trying to figure out which is the lie here.
Yes.
Okay, so number one.
Angelina Jolie picked Lana Del Rey to sing Once Upon a Dream.
And then number 2.
The budget was $180 million, and they've made it back.
Okay, and number 3.
Angelina Jolie owns a pair of
pair of humps?
I can't. Yes.
No, she is stick skinny thin. She has no humps anywhere on her.
She owns a pair of horns and keeps them at home.
Horns. Oh, from
the movie.
thingy.
Yes.
Okay, she
the pokey
probably
bits.
does. She probably does. Okay, I think I know which one's the lie.
I think I've got.
All right,
got
well, we'll
my
let our
opinion.
guest go first.
My opinion would be that it has made the money back already.
Okay.
You think that's a lie?
No, I think that's the truth.
Well, it's two truths and one
truths,
lie.
Okay, so pick the one that's
The lie
the one
would
that's
be
it's a load
the
of garbage.
choosing of the voice.
Okay.
I think the lie is the budget. The budget being that and then making it back.
Okay.
I think the lie is her picking the song.
So you two agree. You
Yeah.
both think it's her picking the song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rob, you gonna get in on this or no?
I'm going to abstain because I think I saw this in the trivia notes in IMDb.
Oh, okay.
So,
And
You're
okay,
so
fair enough.
honest.
shouldn't we just let it be or let it go?
Oh no, I want to know about
Oh my
one.
goodness! I can't believe you went there. Oh, that song, it won't go away.
Frozen.
Okay, so we got Michelle. You think the budget's a load of garbage?
Yes.
Frank and Christina, you think The voice.
Yes,
Yes,
her
I think
picking
so.
that person to sing.
Michelle, you are correct.
I was right last week.
Angelina Jolie did indeed pick Lana Del Rey to do the song, and the budget was 180 million, but thus far they've only made 172 million back. So only 172
Only
million.
172.
Obviously, they're hurting
Well,
for cash.
I contributed to that because I went and saw it. This one, Rob contributed it twice as much as me because he went to see it twice.
You went to see it
He
twice.
really loved it.
Wait a second here. What is,
Moving on.
And
went with her and
Her would be Christina, for those of you that
would
are
be
listening.
Christina and
not
Zephyr.
watching.
And then went back a few days later for Sky's birthday because she hadn't seen it.
Okay.
and
Have you
I-
seen The Truth About Our Stars?
I have. That is my daughter's absolute favorite book. So the night that it came out, we went to see it. And
Phenomenal movie.
it was wonderful, but I knew going into it what the movie was about, so I thought,
Mm.
this isn't going to affect me. The actress, her portrayal of what it felt like to lose a loved one after they died was the best I've ever seen, and it instantaneously made me connect with...
Real quick, if any of you haven't seen it, she pretty much just spoiled it, but it's okay. Go ahead. So if you are still listening and you want to see the movie and haven't read the book, quit listening right now. We're
Okay.
turning away our listeners. Do
You know
not
what?
listen.
At
I'm
this
kidding.
point, it's been out so long. If you haven't seen it, really, I mean, come on.
I didn't know what it was about, and I was just amazed. It was a beautiful, beautiful story.
It
Yeah.
was. All right.
Well, next.
Next, Rob has some trivia for us.
Come on, Rob.
Yeah,
I'm on a
trivia.
winning streak here.
All
Okay,
right.
this non-smoking works out great for me.
Okay, so when you want to answer, you just blurt it out.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so this is going to be a mix of entertainment, history,
Are you going to keep score?
all sorts of
Oh,
science.
I can
all
try.
sorts
I
of
don't have
stuff.
anything to write on, but I can try.
I'll do it. Okay. Michelle's
Alright.
going to keep score.
Results keeping score? Okay. Which singer joined Mel Gibson in the movie Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome?
Tina Turner.
You were correct.
Woohoo!
All right.
That was my next guess.
I had no guess.
Which famous statesman said, "Give me liberty or give me death"?
A dead one?
That's true.
that
George Washington?
Statesman.
No.
Oh.
It wasn't George Washington.
Patrick Henry.
There you go.
I was gonna say I
Score one for
know
Frank.
this. but-
Wow. My answer was
Richmond,
better.
Virginia.
Next.
What is converted into alcohol during brewing?
Yeast.
Sugar.
Boom, sugar.
Ah, crap.
Of course I know the alcohol one.
Of course you do.
All right, let's see. Okay, here's one. On TV, who did the character Lurch work for?
Oh.
Lurch, that was the Addams Family.
Frank got it.
Well, okay.
Okay, boys and girls, which is the financial center and main city of Switzerland? Little geography.
Bern?
No.
Okay. Can you repeat the question? Poor
Do we-
favor.
multiple
like
choice?
that's going to help
Which
you?
is the financial center and main city of Switzerland?
Zurich.
Can I phone a friend?
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. Remember that
Good.
time when you said repeating the question wasn't going to help, and it totally did?
I just gave you time to look it up online. Don't act like you're smart.
All right. Well, I'm gonna find one that's okay. This one's
What was it? I got to find one that my fiance might be able to answer.
Do you wear white before or after Memorial Day?
In the movie Maleficent, does she own a pair of...
Who captained Jules Verne's submarine Nautilus?
Who what?
Who captained
Captain Nemo.
Jules-
Yes, Nemo.
Nemo.
And
minute,
Finding
what?
Nemo?
No, who captained the Nautilus?
Yeah, wasn't he a
Just
little
keep
fish?
swimming, just keep
No.
Are we
He
not
was a
talking
little
about
fish,
that
that's
movie?
what I-
No, we're talking.
He lost me at the word captained. I was like,
Yeah.
is he saying that wrong? Is he putting two words
No.
together?
Who captained Jules Verne,
Yeah.
who's an author, submarine Nautilus?
Wouldn't it be Jules Verne?
No.
No.
Do you wear white before?
Captain Jules Verne. Who's the captain?
Okay.
Jules Verne.
Next. Can you give us an easy one?
I was gonna. Never mind. All right. Which guitarist is known as slow hand?
As what?
Which guitarist is known as slow hand?
I should know this.
Well, it's not going to be Jimi Hendrix.
Weird Al Yankovic.
No idea.
Come on, guys. You should know that.
Alice
How would
Cooper?
I know this?
I don't know.
What's
I'm
his
just
name?
throwing out.
Maynard. He's
Slash?
Skinner.
No, that's not Slash.
Is he a guitarist even?
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
The guy with the curly hair
but
that
there's
wears like
not-
that, like this.
How about
Oh, wait. Why did you say I should know this?
maybe the guy that you went and saw? Paul Stanley?
It's not Paul
No.
Stanley. It's a guess.
Okay, give us a hint. Can you tell us? Oh, I know who it is. I bet it's. Give us a hint. What's his name start with?
He's growing. He has a beard like I'm.
Eric Clapton.
See? There you go. In which 1979 film was the spaceship called Nostromo?
What? Say that again.
Star
I was
Wars?
lost.
Which 1979 film was
Star
the
Wars.
spaceship called Nostromo?
Star Trek.
Nostromo?
Star anything?
Nostromo.
Which?
No idea.
It's the sci-fi.
Sci-fi film, 1979.
79. I was like a toddler, burning in a car probably because my parents probably did leave me in there at least once. Let's see. 79.
Famous 1979 movie.
Famous.
There's been multiple
Quit
It's
cheating.
not Star Trek.
sequels. No.
No.
Star Wars.
No.
Say there's been multiple sequels?
Multiple. Is this like some? Do they have conventions where people dress up?
They might dress up like the alien.
Is this
Just
Battlestar
gave it away.
Galactica?
Hint.
The
He
movie
just-
Alien.
Yes. He just gave it away.
Aliens is the movie. You guys didn't,
Yeah.
didn't get it.
No, actually, I've never seen any of those.
We're not very good at this game.
Okay,
I
maybe we
should've.
need to try another game. Don't
Can
you
we try
have
another
kids
game?
trivia there?
Christina wants to do kids trivia. I think, Christina, you should do this. I would like to know. Would you rather?
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy. That's going to go really well or really not.
We're going to ask Christina this one. Just because I feel like you really got left out of the game. And it's okay. So now I want to include you. And this one's all about you. It's all about you, Christina.
Thank
This
you.
is Christina moment.
Thanks.
Okay. As a woman,
I might know this.
would you rather always wear the same lavender shoes or always dress in the exact same outfit? I knew she'd have a hard time with this one.
Well, if I can accessorize the outfit different. Oh, gosh, that would be so boring. No. This is hard. Okay, I would not want to wear the same outfit all the time. So I think I would rather lavender shoes, but lavender shoes? I guess I'm going to pick lavender shoes.
You want with lavender shoes?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I would go with lavender shoes too, because I could just wear like a long skirt that almost
And
covers
hide
them.
them.
Yeah, I would do that too. Would you rather be known for being cheap or a crybaby? Everyone can answer this one.
Which would you rather be?
I'd
known
rather be cheap.
Me too. Because really, I mean, cheap, all that means is that you're frugal with your money.
Yeah.
But everybody knows me as a crybaby, so.
Cheap is frugal? Are you saying cheap and frugal are the same?
I think so.
Well, to an extent, yeah.
I'll go the cheap route and just consider myself thrifty.
You're definitely thrifty.
Sam gives me grief for being a cheapskate all the time. Like, well,
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not spending that much money on
I'm
whatever
going
it
with
is.
cheap too. Okay.
Frank, did you have something to say on that?
I was going to say, if you put 100 millionaires in the same room, what characteristic would they all have?
They're probably all cheap.
Well,
Frugal.
Way to put it would be they all live below their means.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's
Probably
only
a good
because
point.
they have so much flipping money. It'd be impossible to live above your means. And no, I'm kidding.
But
know, that's how you accumulate money, is if you
live
earn
below
it
your-
and don't spend it.
That's a good point.
Yeah, you're right.
Thought provoking.
It is.
I think I live under my.
The Millionaire Next Door
Yeah.
is a very interesting book.
I'll have to look into that.
Okay, kiddos, would you rather be forced to sit deadly still for 12 hours straight but not sleep, or keep constantly moving for 36 hours straight?
Do you know how many calories you'd burn if you were constantly moving for 36 hours straight?
So, Misha, you ain't got nothing on this card.
Perfectly still.
Deadly still, it actually says. Deadly still, but you cannot sleep. Or
Well, then you're
constantly
dead.
moving for
I mean, you
36
can't stay
hours.
deadly still. You're going to blink. Unless you're a puppet. I will never blink. Jeff Dunham. Hashtag.
No idea.
Jeff Dunham. I think I would rather sit deadly still for 12 hours.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. Because that's only 12 hours. 36 hours of moving around.
That's a
That's
long
crazy.
flipping time. I don't even know if I can stay awake. for
Although,
36
I guess,
hours.
define moving around. Because if I can, like, because there are people that fall asleep.
It says walking, running, driving, etc. So basically, you're moving.
Okay, got it.
You
But I don't
gotta
have
be
to be
moving.
conscious for said movement. So if I made some really elaborate rig where I could sit on an exercise bicycle and take a nap while my legs are moving, if I got real creative with it, I'd be good to go. Right?
Yeah.
I guess so.
It might take me 36 hours to build said rig, but then I win anyway.
Duct tape.
There
Yes.
you go. All right.
Okay.
You have to give those to Rob, or is Rob going to play?
Rob can play.
All right, Rob's
So
playing.
I'm going to read a question from a family Trivial Pursuit. Okay?
Okay.
We'll only have time for a couple.
Okay.
And then you guys can answer them. And then you guys can guess whether it is a kid's card or an adult card.
Okay.
Okay? No, that one's an easy one. Never mind.
Kids card.
What replaced... Good guess.
Thank you.
Okay, now I gotta switch. Okay. What replaced the French franc in 1999?
The French
The
franc.
Euro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a kid's card?
It's a kid's card.
Oh,
Christina.
man.
She's like,
No, I was thinking for a split second, I forgot that francs were even a thing. I'm like, French hot dogs. I don't know anything about those. I was thoroughly confused. I really was, and I feel dumb.
okay, which ocean contains 23% of the world's seawater?
Pacific.
Any other guesses?
I'll go Pacific.
Yeah, right.
I think so.
Well, that is wrong. It's the Atlantic.
What?
Ah,
Kids card or adult card, people?
I'm going to go with kids.
kids.
Adult.
Adult.
Really?
So you shouldn't feel quite as dumb as you did
Okay.
just for a second ago. Okay. What 5-letter word has been a nickname for the South since the Civil War?
Dixie.
You're right.
Oh, South. I heard self, and I'm like, I've got no idea.
South. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, kids card or adult card? Christina.
G-I-X-I-E.
I don't know if you guys are watching. God, I hope you're watching, because the best part of this is watching Christina over here. Dixie. D-I... Wait, is it X? Is it E-Y? I-E?
Stop it.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, let's see. Let's find another one. What communications giant sports a round logo often referred to as a Death Star?
AT&T.
Nice. Let's not play Trivial Pursuit with Rob. Adult or kids?
Adult.
Adult. What nursery rhymes? Wife could eat no more. No lean, excuse me.
Jack's
Who's
Jack.
nursery? Oh, look at that.
Kids?
Christina.
Kids.
You got it right! Yay! Christina got it right. Oh, that's funny. Okay, how much time do we have, Christina? How many more do you want to do?
We have 5 minutes.
Okay, which island is called island by its locals?
What?
Which island is called
Which island is called island by its locals?
Hawaii?
Ireland.
Is Ireland
Haiti?
an island?
I'm gonna go with Saipan.
Yeah.
I have no
It is an
idea.
island.
What'd you say?
Maybe the
Saipan.
Philippines? No.
Got a guess?
Haiti?
Iceland.
Iceland.
Huh. See, but
So we learn something new every day.
I can test that because in Hawaii they do call it the Big Island. I
That has
disagree.
the big in front of it though,
Oh.
not just island.
And
Yeah.
there's more than one.
That's not the island.
All right, fine.
It's the big island. And that's just because there's multiple islands, so they're referring to the one that is the biggest, the big island.
All right, I think that was a kid one.
That was an adult one.
Oh.
Okay. What rank did a woman attain in the U.S. Army for the first time in 1970?
General.
No.
Colonel.
Doubt that.
I don't know.
Anyone else have
Lieutenant
guesses?
Colonel.
No idea.
Wait, in 1970?
1970.
Oh, what?
Okay, I'll stick.
Oh.
I'll stick with Colonel. Why not?
There's no way it's general.
It is general.
Really?
Really. It doesn't tell us who that is, though.
Okay,
guess I
I
could
was
look it
one
up.
rank away. I'll take it.
Kids card or adult card?
Kids.
It is a kids card. I would have. We totally failed that, except for Rob.
Good
What
job, Rob.
color wrapper is on the Lifesavers? Peppermint roll. Blue, green, or red?
Blue.
It is blue. Good job.
That's what I was gonna guess.
Which country gave refuge to the most U.S. Vietnam draft dodgers and deserters?
Canada.
Kids card, adult card.
Adult.
Adult, yeah.
It was adult. Which president had solar panels installed in the White House roof?
Clinton.
I was going to say something, but I won't. Anyway.
This is no limits. What were you going to say? Or is it your daughter just walked in?
Hi, Sydney. I'll post it on Facebook later. All right. Anyone else guesses?
I think that's right.
Clinton? Y'all think he had
I-
time for that shit? I don't think so.
No, I don't.
Anyway.
I don't think it was Clinton.
Who do you think it was?
Obama?
No, he didn't do anything smart enough. Clinton didn't have time. Obama isn't that smart.
George W.
This is it's older than that.
Then it has to
It's
be
been
one
on there
of
for
the
a
Bushes.
while, but I can't
You're
think
right.
of who it is.
It is older.
It's not Reagan. That's
No.
I'll guess Reagan just for
It's Carter.
Carter. Okay.
I was gonna
say those
Carter.
solar
It's
panels
Carter.
were on there for
Yes.
ages, but I can't remember who took them off though.
They took him off?
They've been off.
That would have been Obama. No, I'm just kidding. We
you
figured
keep
out
going.
Obama for one of them. He has done something. I'm sorry. Okay, that's it. That's all we have time for trivia because Obama was the best answer of the day. So we're gonna call it there.
Oh boy. All right.
Oh boy. So next week,
Michelle is not going to be here.
I'm not. I am off to San Diego a week from a week from today. We're leaving bright and early in the morning, probably 2 or 3 o'clock, and we'll be back after the 4th. So
I did not clear this.
you were invited. What do you mean you did not clear this?
All right. Well, I'll be here.
Christina will be here. Do you have a guest co-host or what are you doing?
Yes, I will.
Do you know who it is yet?
No, I do not.
Okay, so for all of you who want to know who could possibly replace me next Saturday,
No one will be replacing
Stay in
you.
contact
but
with-
somebody will fill in.
yeah.
No
Watch
one will
on No
repl-
Limits. I'm sure
Yes.
Christina will be posting it later this week to let you guys know.
And to our guest, Frank, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's
you.
been a great time.
Good. I'm glad. Now you are going to go sell some cars.
Yes.
And for everyone that wants a car, go to consolidatedauto.com, 16th Street and Van Buren. Till next week, we'll see you.
Real quick,
Yes.
I looked it up. Carter put the solar panels on. Reagan took them off. So I wasn't far away. Reagan. took them
Wow, that surprises me.
Older than I thought.
Okay, anyway.
Oh.
And on that bombshell,
That bombshell, this is
see you
No
next
Limits.
week.
Oh, say,
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight